It is another Monday on this beautiful earth. That means we start off hard right, hard left, what I feel I got the most right and what I feel I got the most wrong from the previous week. I say a lot of things. It's only fair to hold myself accountable. I don't mind being wrong. I just, I say what I think, and if I'm wrong, well, we live with it. So, with that being said, let's start with hard left. I was really, really wrong about the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, I've been saying, and I truly believed this, that if you have an all-time great player, and Giannis, make no mistake about it, is an all-time great player, that you can beat the lesser teams almost automatically in the playoffs. LeBron did this for years. Obviously, LeBron is on the high end of all-time great players. Jordan's done this. When you have an all-time great player, Kobe, Duncan, Shaq, even someone like Dwayne Wade, if you want to go like a tier below, I just think you're gonna win. You could make an argument. What Jokic just did with the Nuggets was all-time great player in Jokic playing another guy who's borderline all-time great player in Kawhi Leonard, who, because of injuries, who knows where we're going to end up ranking him long-term. But a guy who was able to just will his team in that series. We've seen Steph do it with the Warriors. Giannis was the only guy, though, that didn't get it done. And that's got to mean something. And I love Giannis. Giannis is one of my favorite players in the league to watch. I was big on Giannis as the best player in the NBA several years before Jokic took that spot. And there's a real argument, and we're going to talk Will later in the week. Will probably has Giannis above Jokic because the value of being an actual two-way great player, which Giannis is. Giannis, we're going to look back at some point in time and go, wait, the guy who was averaging 30, 12, 6, playing great defense with multiple blocks a game was never in contention to win an MVP over this 4 to 5 year span? And the reality is yes. He was never in contention to win an MVP because we watched the games, we saw the impact, and the impact is just not there for whatever the reason is. And so, even though I had them going all the way to the finals, which was probably really high on the copium level of, how much you investing into just one player, the fact is, yes, you could say, well, Dame got hurt. Well, Dame was hurt at the end of the regular season, and I picked them not thinking they were getting anything from Dame because due to the medical nature of it, you see blood clots and you don't expect that person to be back anytime realistically soon. It was great that Dame was able to come back. It's obviously horrible that he ended up tearing his ACL, and now he's going to be out for not just he missed the playoffs, but he's going to be out all of next year as well. And the way that the game ended with Tyrese Halliburton's dad, that was weird. But Giannis just didn't get it done. And I was wrong. The Bucks not only were not even they weren't even close to being a finals team. They were a first round exit team. And we have to be fair. Now, Giannis is already a made man. Multiple MVPs, a defensive player of the year, an all-NBA first-team guy several times, an NBA champion, has 50 points to close out a final series. All these things are true, and all these things are why his resume is as great as it is. You also can't spend the back half of your career losing in the first round. We look at Durant funny because of this, that if you look at those post-Warrior years, we have a bunch of losing the first round, missed the playoffs, what's going on, multiple teams. Now, Giannis only has the one team. We'll see what happens this offseason. But we are going to look at you funny when you are an all-time talent, you are an all-time player, but we're not getting out of the first round, and we've only got one notable playoff run. Now, that one notable playoff run is going to keep you ahead of guys like James Harden, who's got no all-time playoff run. He's going to keep you ahead of guys, depending on how you want to feel about Durant post-Warriors, and because a lot of people don't consider those Warrior titles, they don't view them in the same light. Okay, we'll see. Maybe people can have you above or below Durant, but you can't be first-round exit year after year. Especially the way you're losing, man. Like, it was the wall, you beat the wall, and now what's the wall? Because he's still averaging crazy numbers. He's still going, I think in this series he averaged 33, 15, and 5. Like, Giannis is still putting up numbers, but he's just not nearly as impactful. I say this with LeBron, as we have, and what LeBron is doing at 40 is obviously incredible. But LeBron is not even close to the same player. I don't care how many times you put up. He's averaging the same as he did when he was 29. He is not the same player he was when he was 29. And it shows in the impact. It shows in the games won. It shows in the box scores. Like, being impactful, which Giannis should be, besides maybe Jokic exclusively, the most impactful player on the planet. 30-plus points. You get you 12, 13 rebounds. He plays all NBA first-team defense. He should be the guy who's the most impactful. And yet it just doesn't matter. They lost to the Pacers. Again, I've been kind of shitting on numbers all day. Didn't matter what Giannis' numbers were. Giannis was not impact. The most impactful player on the Bucks was Gary Trent Jr. That can't happen if you're Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, my hard left thing I was the most wrong about last week. When I was predicting the NBA playoffs, I had the Bucks going all the way to the finals. I was wrong. Sorry, I was wrong. I eat it. Hard right. Excuse me. Oh, and I wanted to also give some love to the Pacers because I was really wrong on the Pacers too. And, you know, they deserve some love from me. I was wrong. I thought they were going to lose in the first round, not just to the Bucks. I think they're going to lose this round. I'm not as high on the Pacers as I probably should be. They are clearly playing in a way that is proving me wrong. But let's see what this time next week. And if they win another series, then they'll be it. My hard right, though, has to be, same way, staying in the NBA playoffs, has to be the Minnesota Timberwolves. All I heard was not just because of memes, but Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5. And I acknowledged this conversation. I didn't play into it as much as everybody else. But what was going to happen to any team playing the Lakers if you are 1-1 in a series against them, games close in the fourth quarter, and LeBron and Luka are walking you down? That's going to be tough for anybody, except apparently Anthony Edwards, who was in a 1-1 series against LeBron and Luka and dominated every single fourth quarter up until Game 5, where he did not have a great Game 5, but he was so great leading into that series that even Game 5, we went 0-11 of 3. The Wolves still won the fourth quarter. This shout out to Rudy Gobert, who was never the reason I was going to pick the Timberwolves. I did say he was going to be better than people. He was better than what people thought, but I would have never predicted that 2020 game from him. I don't think anybody could have. What the Wolves did, though, was show they don't. Anthony Edwards is ready to take that face of the NBA step, whether he wants it or not, and let them beat the Warriors. And then on his resume, we have knocked out KD, knocked out Jokic, knocked out LeBron, Luka, knocked out Steph, Jimmy in a 2-year span. It doesn't matter if I said this last week. It's not going to matter if he wants to be the face of the NBA. He will be the face of the NBA. And the Wolves, what they did in that series, they dominated the Lakers on the glass. They dominated the Lakers when it came time in the fourth quarter. And again, we've been shitting on numbers all day. I don't know. I know they 0 for 11 because it was noticeable. I don't know if Anthony Edwards' stat line in the first round was better than Luka Doncic. Luka had a bunch of crazy first quarters and was getting you 25 plus. LeBron, I don't know his exact numbers, but LeBron was playing well. Especially LeBron was playing really well on defense, especially for a 40-year-old. But Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, who was a notable playoff underperformer, he was playing his ass off. Gobert, another notable playoff underperformer, he was playing his ass off. And the Timberwolves, who I had going all the way to the NBA Finals, who now we'll see when we revisit the bracket at the end of the show if I have them going all the way now, since the Bucks, who I did predict winning, they are clearly out. Again, we're wrong sometimes. But again, just because you have LeBron James, and just because you have Luka Doncic, and just because you have Austin Reeves, who, welcome to LA officially, Austin Reeves, you were the best third option in the world 2 months ago, and now LA fans want to see you traded. So welcome to LA, you're officially a Laker. The Wolves, Edwards, Randall, Gobert, the depth, Walker, McDaniels. Shout out to the kids that are like, wow, we're in the double big era of basketball. Power forward and center have been positions forever. LeBron during his prime was so great, he made the game positionless, but power forward and center have existed forever. You didn't recreate the wheel. Don't consider yourself that lucky or that special. So the Wolves dominated the Lakers, and Anthony Edwards said it best. He said it felt great because everybody was saying Lakers in 5, and the Wolves won in 5. And again, I'm picking them to win this series against the Warriors, seeing how far they can go. This Wolves team is for real. Anthony Edwards is for real. This is a great, great team, a great, great story, and we're going to see how far this goes. But hard left, hard right. I was wrong about one side of the bracket horribly, the Bucks losing the first round. I feel very confident about my western side of the bracket with the Wolves advancing.